So I'm converting this 90s mountain bike from a 3x drivetrain to a 1x system. It's going to be way simpler, way cleaner, and a lot easier to shift. Let me show you how I did it step by step. Hey, David here from DIY Mountain Bike. I work part-time at a bike shop and I love working on bikes. This conversion is going to go through everything. This bike is a long ways from being able to be converted. Let's start putting on this pile of parts and using this pile of tools and get this bike converted over to a 1x system. We're going to start by taking those crappy pedals off. Absolutely hate those things. They are like rounded on one side. So if I hate these pedals, why have I kept them on so long? Hey, here is a little tip. You want the quick story for taking off your pedals? I always think back off, front on. So when I get at that, what I'm saying there is wrench is going back. That's the way to take your pedal off. All right. In the trash. Again. Put my wrench on, I'm going to go back. Boy, that bugger's on there. So back off and front on. Let's get our crank off. What do we got? A little bit of a keyway there. So a crank puller. I think this is just a budget one from my friends at Bike Hand. Kind of a nice tool. It's got a socket built into one side. Get it in there. I usually try to orient this in such a way that I can squeeze between the crank and the wrench. Nice, that wasn't too tight. All right. So older bike, it's just got a simple nut on there. So with the crank puller, make sure your threads are cleaned out inside the crank itself so you don't cross thread this. Should go on nice and cleanly. Do not force this. It's the sure sign that you don't have it threaded in well. These guys can be tight, but you'll feel them quickly loosen. And that is taken off an old, ugly 3x. Let's go over to the other side and take that one off. This repair stand by Feedback Sports, absolutely fantastic. It's called the HD Pro. Love this thing. It is the heaviest duty, sturdiest repair stand I've used, other than the electric one I got at work. The electric one is nice, but that, there's so many electric bikes that come in anymore. I'm an old dude, 60 years old, lifting up a 70, 80. Some of the trikes are 90 pounds. Crazy how heavy those guys are. Now what do we got going on here? Another crank arm off. Everything, all this complicated stuff is coming off. Derailleur, this older style bottom bracket. We'll probably take our kickstand off as well. Bottle holder, I think, is going to be next to give us a little bit of room. Our bottle bracket bolts. Let's get this chain off. I'm going to be all greasy by the time this is over. That's okay. Bagged up, got the start of the grime and the grease. Pow. Now remember, keep your bolts together. But we're getting rid of this guy. This bottom bracket out. I don't even know what these tools are called, but I know they work. this is coming off nice. You know, it doesn't actually look that bad. Not bad at all. You're always afraid of stuff being rusted into place, and that is not the case. Keep it together. Scrub down time. How many people use WD-40 to clean? I do. With that part done, let's do a little soapy water action. Actually, not too bad in there. For a trash find, this bike is looking good. Alright, I want you to see what I'm seeing. Inside that bottom bracket, you can see that screw is poking in. I've often had to, and I know I'm going to have to do it here as well, file that guy down in order to get the cartridge style bottom bracket into that BB shell. That is looking nice and clean. Can you think of that after, what is this bike, 35 years old, 34 years old? It's looking good for a trash find. I am so afraid of messing up these threads. I'm taking it out and grinding it down. So we're going to take our cable off. I'm going to try to keep this housing and use the same cable. This has got a little 8mm bolt. So I just nipped off the screw with my side cutters, and then I filed off this guide. Filing and all that stuff just isn't a good move. Before I go too much farther though, I do want to dry run installing this. Alright, that looks good. Bionic man. You know what, I'm gonna lose this. Oh, I can't do it. Nipped it off again with the side cutters. What do we got? Maybe 7mm in length. All right, cross our fingers. There we go. All right, grease this up. Just a little dab. I will also put a little bit on our BB. So again, it's a reverse thread. I'm going backwards until I feel it. I am so hoping nice and easy. But before I take that all the way in, I like putting on the other side a little bit of grease inside of it as well. I just want to make sure everything comes together correctly. All right. That is not fully set on that side. Let's tighten up our drive side. So I've got 2 wrenches. I do like this guy a lot more, but this one works just fine as well. How tight? The word I like to use is good and tight. I'm putting the wrench handle close to the chainstay and using that to squeeze it together. So next up, we're going to go over to the bench. So this is the DJC chain ring. It's a 36 tooth chain ring. Beautiful purple color. I think it's going to accent my my shifter and brake housings just a little bit. That's what it looks like. It's a 104 BCD and a 36 tooth. So I think that's going to work out really well for my commuting type of riding. Let's put it together. To get my chain line the way I want, I'm going to have to go towards the inside. How's it look? It's a nice bottom bracket. Time to take our derailleur off. Before we take off our wheel, we're going to double check that our hanger is straight. So I usually pick where the valve is at. I slide it down to the middle, follow that around, check it. All right, I can see I'm hitting my rim on the inside versus on the outside edge where I did it. So that means I need to bend it just a hair. Oh, looks like I went too far, but it is so close. All right, touching. Fitting nice. It is pretty straight. Our free wheel is off. Let's get our free hub on. So when you weren't looking, I mounted up my old tires onto these new wheels. So now it's time to work on our free hub. All right, what do we do next? I put a little bit of grease onto our splines. Drop that on. Look for your keyway right there. Look for your cap keyway right there. I always make sure I'm set good on there. I don't want to see any rocking. Get my locking ring. Just tighten it up. That is our 11 to 42 9-speed cassette. Let's get it on the bike. Like a glove. Let's put on the front wheel. Liking it. I know some people won't put grease on here, but I do. I'm really liking this already. So our cable is going to be coming here, here. A nice, relatively straight line. I'm going to be able to shorten my housing. So I'm going to jump in. Cutting it this short was a mistake. You'll see how I fix it later. Thinking about there. So this is a nice compressionless housing. Look at that, that looks nice. What do you think? So I'm jumping in. That little ferrule end ends up breaking. I'm going to say my chain line doesn't really look that bad. I'm going to say I'm at maybe gear 5 or 6. All right, let's put a chain on this beast. KMC. Oh, dropped my missing link. I guess we can call it missing. Now this is a 114 link. I've found on my other bikes that 114 links works perfect. So we're gonna just put it on. This is a little hack you might want to know about. It's just a piece of coat hanger, right? So what are we doing? I hook it on with plenty of extra. Pull. And that gives me some slack in order to play with it. Let's get our missing link. That will set the missing link. Looking good there. Set our limits. Alright, about half a turn. Silent. Alright, let's get a shifter on this bike. Alright, off with our old shifter. Oh yeah, that screwdriver fits a lot better. The nice thing about locking grips, they do come off nice. So all of the adjustment on the Advent shifter is at the grip. So I like to spin that guy all the way in and then back it out about 4 clicks. Not 4 turns, 4 clicks. Right there. Oh, I like how all that's going to interface. We're going to go right about there. I'm in a test position here. Oh, I like that. I guess I could go a little bit shorter. I'm going to. I like it. Oh, this is just going so smooth. Just for the time being, that way we can make some easy adjustments. All right, I'm excited, but let's put some pedals on this guy. Let's go shiny and new with some pedals. Alright, the moment of truth. How's it gonna shift? I'm guessing. Moment of truth, I'm guessing. Alright, let's turn this guy off. just gonna snap into gears with nearly zero adjustment. One. First time through, no adjustments. I love MicroSHIFT. This 9-speed system is just nearly bulletproof, but I have made zero adjustment. A little bit. And really that looks like it's my B screw, my B limit. Yep, it would be one by system is rocking. Only one thing left to do is to trim our cable. Going long. So like I mentioned earlier, somewhere along the way, that little ferrule end actually broke. My cable housing was way too tight, and you're going to see that I changed that out later. So there it is, our Giant Rincon with our 1x9 drivetrain. I absolutely love this MicroSHIFT system. Just tunes in so quickly as long as you got your initial cable tension set right and maybe a little adjustment to the B screw in order to get your jockey wheels down below your big ring back here. So that's it. Our 1x9 drivetrain on the 1991 Rincon. This has been a fantastic rebuild, a great update. Nice and clean area here at the front chain ring. Gotta like that smooth shifting with that reliable MicroSHIFT Advent 9-speed derailleur, shifter, and cassette. Love this system. I've got it on all my bikes. 4 different bikes now running the same thing. And check out the links below. I'm gonna have the tools, the components, everything that went into this build so far. And hit that hit that subscribe button, and then check out the full playlist where I'm updating this bike. Thanks. Hey, and as always, keep pedaling.